discussing about the UNEB poster registration procedure and support for those who missed out, but the entire discussion is going to be based about the registration process, what it was like, how challenging was it, are there any special cases, things like that. And I've just got to notice that all levels for registration, the registration process is complete with the exception of very special cases. So, and we really have Jennifer Kalule Musumba, who is here with us, and she is the Principal Public Relations Officer from UNEB. It is a blessing, and of course, to host you here. Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, Luke, and very good morning to all our viewers. It is always a pleasure to be here at this channel, the Family TV. It's a blessing, and I want to thank God for the opportunity given to me and the board. I want to thank God for the management, for all of you, and for always giving us positive coverage and for promoting positive values. I came in and I listened to a very good something that was on about family. I love this station, if only for that, for the family values. So we really appreciate you, appreciate the work that you do, and for supporting the body of Christ. So it's a pleasure being here.
It is indeed a pleasure to have you as well, and we take the privilege of that. So, just like I had highlighted the topic for today's discussion, I want to straight now run into you giving us an overview of what the registration process was like.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I'll start off by saying thank you to everybody who has been part of the registration process. As UNEB, we are responsible for registering and responsible for conducting examinations at national level for primary, secondary, and for secondary, that is both for UCE, Senior 4 and Senior 6. And part of this process, what helps us to make the assessment are the registration figures. This is where we are able to get the figures and know we have so many candidates at this level, we have so many candidates at PLE, at UCE, and then USE, and then we plan accordingly. So we work with different stakeholders, and many people have been working with us. At the primary level, we work with the district inspectors of schools who help us, the teachers, and the parents most importantly, and of course even the learners. So we are very grateful that this year we actually have a 7% increase in candidature. Usually the average increase is about 3 to 3.7, 3.7 to 4. But right now the overall percentage increase is 7%. And here we have, last year we had candidature of 1,224,371, and now this year our candidature is at 1,320,898.
Wow,
so
all combined.
All combined. That gives us a percentage increase of 7%. But we have a very unique increase at USCE, that's at Senior 6. We have 22% increase. It's kind of, we don't even know what's happening, but it's kind of a welcome increase, because usually we have many people registering at the different levels, and then we have fewer people dropping. The numbers go on dropping. This time round, we have 142,149 candidates who have registered for USCE, that is the Senior 6, and as compared to last year where we had 565 candidates who had registered. That was at the USCE level. So it's a 22% increase, and it is a very welcome increase. We are grateful that we have many candidates who are registering at that level, because that means the dropout level or whatever they are doing is limited. And then the unique category of what we call the transitional candidates. When we did start, we didn't know how many were going to turn up, but we ended up right now, as we speak, we have 10,133 have registered. These are the transitional candidates. These are the candidates who have who are repeating, who are doing the USCE, rather the UCE examination under the old curriculum. As you may be aware, as a country, we are transitioning from the old curriculum to the new curriculum. But as a board, we do recognize that it cannot just be a bang, crash, bang, bang, and just move on. So we did request our superiors, the powers that be, we did request the Ministry of Education to allow us have this 1 year of transitional, helping us move from the old curriculum to the new curriculum. And now we are looking at people who we are looking at learners who need to improve their scores. They need to improve their grades. Maybe they've sat last year or earlier years, and now they want to improve their scores. They realize their career path and they want to improve on something. So we are looking at such learners. We are looking at people who may have registered last year but failed to do exams for some reason or the other, because usually we have people who do repeat examinations ordinarily, and then we are also looking at people who may have failed for some reason or the other. I mean, failure is usual. People do fail. We are also looking at people who may have their results cancelled last year. For some, I mean, they were involved in malpractice or something. But we are also looking at adults who maybe never had, because usually we use PLE, the PLE results as our baseline. But for some reason, somebody may not have done that for PLE, or maybe they certainly failed completely, but now they realize either I have a political career, I want to pursue it even if it's a business career, and they need this document. Now, for those ones, you could be adults and you're 22 years and above. You can ask to do for the examination, and we will not require you to will not ask for the PLE results okay. Because we know you are adult, you've been in business, and now you want to pursue a career or something like that. However, you have to be a Ugandan for this category, and for this one, they had to get express permission from the ED to allow them, so you have to show proof of age and all that. So we had that broad spectrum, and it has ended up, we have 10,133 who have registered for this level. And we are very grateful. They've been registering from halls or from the schools or different levels. And for that, we are very grateful. Okay. And then PLE, finally PLE, we have the figures at PLE, we have the total figure that we have for PLE. We have, last year we had the PLE figures were at 749,347, but this year we are at 798,733. That is a percentage increase of 6%. Like I said, ordinarily it's about 3%, 3.4, 3.7, but right now it is 6%. The other critical thing to also note is that majority of these people are, especially at PLE level, are registered in the government schools. Those are the UPE schools. And for us, this is a vote of confidence in the government programs. We are the PLE, rather the youth schools, universal secondary education, and also the universal primary education. It is a confidence in the government programs. At USCE, the numbers kind of drop because there are people, I think, they tend to go different ways depending on the combination somebody wants. But at the lower level, we positively recognize that schools or parents are registering more of their students or their learners.
Private schools seem to be so many. How comes most learners are coming in from the UCE or UPE schools?
Well, I mean, but the government schools are also there. The government schools are also there, so it's a two-way really, and I think it's a matter of choice. And of course, there are also other things that people are looking out for. The values in most government schools, you find there are certain values that, and most parents would be looking out for certain values. So it is a combination. You're looking at getting a combination of a wholesome person, and that's one of the things that you're looking at in the new curriculum. Okay. Not just getting to somebody to a school where they would just get content and cram and pass the examinations, but you're looking at getting a wholesome person. You're looking at getting somebody who is going to be able to be, to be holistic in terms of their spiritual upbringing, physical upbringing, and academically, but also they are problem solvers, they are development oriented. So you're looking at somebody who is holistic. And that is where we are going for the new curriculum. But at a family level, you also need to look at where are you taking your child. Is it because you've heard that they are getting the fours or something like that, or are you also looking at other values? So you find that most government schools have certain values that many people aspire or would want their children to have, which is a good thing.
And talking about categories, do we have an increase maybe or decrease in the special needs people or learners?
I must confess, at this point in time, we do not have that that breakdown yet. And so what is going to happen, you're asking in terms of the procedure. What is going to happen right now is that we are going to do a cleaning up. We are going to do an assessment of all those factors, and we are going to come up with that breakdown, and then we shall be able to let the world know. But after the cleaning up, we are going to go to what we call the display of the registers of candidates. This is an opportunity for the parents, for the learners, and for all stakeholders who are interested to confirm. We are telling you these figures first and foremost. You need to also go and confirm them. But also, most importantly, we want people to confirm the credibility of the data, the reliability of the data that they have submitted, and the correctness. At a personal level, at a candidate level, at a family level, it is very important for parents to make sure, first of all, you confirm, has your child been registered? Because the moment you miss out, on the final day, UNEB will not allow you to do the examinations, regardless of who you are, because it's a whole process. So we are going to do the hanging of the voters, oh my God, of the candidates register, the candidates registers at schools.
Yes,
According to the UNEB Act 2021, we are required to hang the registers up at least 60 days before the examinations begin.
Okay.
National examinations will begin around should begin around 11th of October, according to the draft timetable that we have, 11th of October, that is with the ECE. So we are we are purposing to hang these registers around that same time, around the 11th of August, September. So I have August, September, and then October. So we are going to do the cleaning up, and then we shall announce. We shall announce to the public, have a press briefing, or let everybody know that now you can be able to go and confirm. So when you get there, confirm first and foremost, has your child been registered? This can also be done on SMS. We are going to have an SMS option whereby the parents, as long as you know the index number of the child, you send to 6600. So you confirm Jennifer Kalule has been registered. Fine. After you have confirmed, look at the spelling of names. How are the names written? Look at the gender. At times they can interchange. There are people who have names like, let's say, Grace Mukisa. Grace Mukisa could be male or female.
Yes, yes.
So look at the gender. Usually at primary level, our teachers, our schools use service providers, and they don't even attach anything. You don't know who look is, who or somebody like that. So they may call Grace Mukisa female, yet actually Grace Mukisa is male. That is a major discrepancy. Later on, it's going to affect the person. So please, that's why I want them, because on the SMS option, we are only going to tell you that, oh yes, the child has been confirmed, these are the names, and we shall let you know, are they under government, are they government sponsored, or are they privately sponsored? Why this is important, certain schools, they make you pay private fees, for as a private student, yet actually they are registering you as a government student. So as a parent, you also need to know under what category has your child been registered, to avoid the parents being woodwinked, or basically being woodwinked into paying money, yet actually government is paying for their children. Now
on that particular one where you say they have to confirm whether the spelling is correct or the sex and all that, is there room for amendment? What if at that moment I find out that my child has been put as female, yet in actual sense they are male?
Yes, please. And that is the whole idea why we do it at this point in time. So the moment you realize that there is a mistake, first of all, the schools do the registration on their portals. What the school can do at that point in time, they go into the portal. There's what we have put there, an amendment form. So you get the amendment form and say, Jennifer, index number 004, the name has been misspelled. It's supposed to be single A, but they put double A. And then on this aspect of the gender, they put female or not, something like that. Then we've also realized that the picture is not of a good resolution, because the picture which they put there is what is going to be used eventually on the result slip. So as parents, also, if you go and you can their picture, you're like, who is this really Jennifer? You're like, you're trying to to push so much, try and see if the picture is visible. So you will have to ask so they can take another picture at that point in time, because thereafter you will not be able to take the picture. You can be asked to pay an extra 5,000, even if it's 10,000. I think it is okay, because you are talking of a document which your child is going to use for the rest of their lives, and don't want them to go somewhere and somebody is actually doubting if it's them or not. So the resolution of the picture, the visibility is very important. You're also looking at, okay, we've talked about the spelling of names, the order of names. You're talking about the picture, look at the gender, and then look for the people in secondary school. Look at the subjects that you have registered for. Which subjects has your child registered for? Let them look at the paper codes. Ask them literature, which papers are you doing? Biology, which papers are you doing? Or something like that. They need to be very clear. History, what papers have you registered for? So we avoid issues whereby somebody is registered erroneously or wrongfully. They are registered for a paper which they actually do not do. Because this time round, for all for the new curriculum, all the papers require coursework assessment scores. That is now the other area where we want the parents to come in very critically. With the new curriculum, where the difference is with the new curriculum, that is why even for the old curriculum, we are asking people who need to do this for the last time, because in the new curriculum, you need to have sat in class from S1 to senior 4 because of the continuous assessment. The teachers assess you continuously. With the old curriculum, we are asking these adult people, as long as you can read and get the content and be able to pass, you can come in senior 4 and say, hey, I'm registering, I want to sit. With the new curriculum, that will not be possible.
Okay. So
that is why we're giving this last chance to people who need to do this panel beating one last time. For the new curriculum, if anybody misses, even if you are an adult as yourself, you still need to go back to S1.
Oh my God.
Because the new curriculum did not factor in that aspect. But anyway, going to the candidates this year, so we want the parents to also follow. The learners in the new curriculum have a project. They're supposed to have scores for the project and for the continuous assessment. Continuous assessment contributes 20% of the overall. So finally, when the end of cycle assessment is going to be done by UNEB, it's going to contribute 80%. However, even if you were to score 80 out of 80 and you do not have that 20%, UNEB will not give you a certificate. That is why it is very important. And this is now the teachers who are supposed to do the submission. Currently, our deadline is the 4th of October, but it may be adjusted. But the teachers, the parents, ask the teachers, have you submitted? Ask the learners, your continuous assessment. You have to be involved. Show the teachers that you actually know what is going on. You have to be involved. Let the learners know. Let the teachers know. Ask, inquire. Don't just go for VD and do whatever else you do. It is very important we pray and we do all this, but certain things you need to actually do them. Faith without action without works is dead. Now it's about time to add works to our faith. We are praying for our children. We are believing for them to perform well, but we also have to ensure that we follow up their performance in school. Call the teacher, go to the doors and say, I want to confirm. Have you submitted our learners scores to UNEB? The people who are part of the board maybe, or somebody has got to hold them accountable. Make sure that they have submitted. And even if they have submitted, let them ensure all the candidates. If you say you have 200 candidates, for instance, make sure the scores for all the 200 candidates have been submitted. Because if one candidate can go miss, we've seen those cases where scores for one child are missing for some reason or the other, and we do not have, an excuse for doing that. We have a responsibility. We are just custodians. We've been given a responsibility to make sure the destinies of these children are secure. So we want to call upon our stakeholders, the teachers in schools, everybody who is responsible for continuous assessment. Please do make sure you do the submission of the scores at the right time. Because otherwise, one day you are going to be asked, what is scores for this child? I know you can, whatever reason you can, many people always just say, it is UNEB, it is UNEB. Schools have that thing, say, it is UNEB, it is UNEB. But first, we handle what has been given to us. If it's not been submitted to us, then we cannot access it. But remember, we also work with deadlines. So if we give you a deadline, please make sure you do abide by the deadline. Okay.
So this assessment is individual.
Yes, the continuous assessment is individual. Now, the new curriculum at S1 and S2, for the continuous assessment, it is individual. They have what we call activities of integration. And here, the teacher is, first of all, they're looking at they're studying the general content, the usual content. But the other aspects that the teacher is looking out for, they're looking at how is able to to work in a team with others? Okay. How is Luke able to interpret things? How is Luke able to do the communication? Do they have, can they express themselves? Can they solve a problem with what they have learned in chemistry, for instance? If they've learned this content, are they able to solve a problem in a community? So they will give them a scenario. Most of the questions are going to be scenario-based. Basically, hope to enable the learner be holistic, think outside the box, such that if they tell you, you know, for instance, that family TV is on Church House, and they have programs XYZ, they do programs for the families, and they have news programs, and they have what, and then so you know, okay, fine, you know this content, and let's say you're in the neighborhood of family TV, and there is a fire in the neighborhood. How would you handle it? So the child would know, well, there's an LC that I have to contact, but family TV can help me send a message very fast. Then I can send an SMS, I can send so they're able to think outside the box and know they have the facts, fine, but how do you use the facts? You have the content, how do you use this content to solve a problem? How do you use this content for personal development? How do you use this content for development in a community? In the old curriculum, it was more about content. You know the content, give me the answer, where is family TV located? Church house, you get the mark. Then you go, who is the director of family house? Then you go the mark. Who hosts this program? Look, and you're done. And yeah, you get, but now it's more than just, actually no one is even going to ask you who hosts the program or something. And that is why the other thing that is good about the new curriculum, we are going to reduce the malpractice cases. Because everybody has to think for themselves. You may know the facts, fine, you know the content, but now you have to think for yourself and see how are you going to use this content to address a given problem or a given challenge or a given scenario. So you asked about, are they going to be doing the continuous assessment for every subject? There's an aspect of continuous assessment. So they will ask, like the geography teacher will say this, the biology teacher will look at all how you're handling all that and all that. So you may not necessarily know the molecules or the biology. You may not be good at that, but you're good at expressing yourself, and you are good at leading others in a team. So in S1 and S2, you do work in groups. So they're going to listen and say she's good at leading others. She's good at communication. She's self-driven, or she needs to be driven, or she has personal initiative. So you may not necessarily be able to remember all those molecules and all that, the Y, the X in the mathematics, but because you have these other values, then you earn a mark for that. That is what we are talking about. So it's not just about cramming the content. Continuous assessment is going to be individual, but then there's also the project. For the project, Senior 1 and Senior 2, they do a group project. Basically purposes of learning and getting the skills. Then at Senior 3 and Senior 4, you are doing an individual project out of what you have been learning. You come up with a project, and then you are now, like the current Senior 3s, for instance, right now, you're supposed to be getting the topic, justification for the topic, tell us the resources which you're going to use. If it doesn't work, you can keep changing, and that's still where we need the families to support them. A child may need something like the empty bottles of mineral water, just to help them to work on some project, something they are working on. Or maybe they need you to give them the bottle tops or straws or something like that. So even as parents, we want to request you, please be involved, get to know what project is your child working on, and support them in as much as possible.
Well, very interesting there. Of course, it is a big one. The education is now collective. Everyone is involved. So please, you have to make sure you're supporting your child there. It is not only the work of the teacher. Anyway, we are continuing with this. It is becoming more interesting, by the way, but immediately after the break.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Yes, Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe is gearing the discussion here. I understand you must be enjoying it because mostly for those who have children in school or the teachers there. I know you are enjoying this discussion because it entirely helps us or befits what we are in right now. And most importantly, registration process for those who have candidates. This is a very important one for you to sit and really pay attention to. Now, I'm here with Mrs. Jennifer Kalule, and she is the principal PRO for UNEB. And I want to go back to the transition examinations. These ones who may not have gone well for last year, now they are coming back to sit for these examinations. How are they being trained to cope up in this new thing, in this thing which they were not used to for the previous year, because I understand it is now going to be a different thing. So how are they being treated? Do they have special classes? Do they have sort of?
That is a very good question. The people who are, first and foremost, that is now the category that the transitional examination is targeting. The transitional examination is the examination we are conducting under the old curriculum. And we are holding it, doing it for the last time, presumably because the curriculum as a system, as a country, we have actually moved from the old curriculum to the new curriculum. In 2020, the government of Uganda, Ministry of Education, through the National Curriculum Development Center, did change the curriculum, but from the old curriculum to the new curriculum. So the learners, but we had a dead year of due to COVID.
Yes.
So that is why the learners who did start in 2020, then 2021, 2021, 2022. They're the ones who are in ESO in 2021, 2022. Are the ones who are the pioneers of the new curriculum this time round. Now, for the ones who may have failed last year, for some reason or the other, those are the ones that are being targeted under the old curriculum. That's the category you're talking about. Or anyone who sat exams previously, but they want to improve their scores. By the way, another thing about the transition examination, you may have failed. Let's say you want to do journalism, for instance, and you realize that you need to have literature, and you need to have literature, past literature and English maybe as critical subjects for you to get the combination you want to eventually get you into mass communication. You can choose to say that I don't want to repeat all the 8 subjects or the 10 subjects. I want to repeat just 1 subject or 2 subjects.
Really?
So you can choose to say I'm repeating only literature and maybe English language or one CRE or something like that, just to help you get the combination that you want. That's the other thing about the transitional examination. So people did not have to register for all the 8 subjects. You could only register for the 2 subjects you want to repeat, but you have to register for all the subjects, not just papers. And this usually happens mainly with the people who are in the medical profession, usually the nurses. Let's say maybe they failed chemistry or biology or physics, and they are very critical for them to be able to do the nursing course or something like that. So you can repeat just those subjects that you want. And then, but UNEB will give you the certificate of just those ones. And this time around, I think they're going to be, because they are ideally 2023 examinations, because they are likely to have 2023 as in dating, because this is 2023, the curriculum changed from 2024. That's the unique thing about the old curriculum and the transitional examination. So how they are coping, how they are studying, we've been encouraging them to, because depending, like the minister did guide that the schools under the universal secondary education could register these candidates and take them on. So you had to establish really that can the school take you on? Are they able to provide you with the services, or would you do maybe weekend studying, or it was more of a private arrangement, much as the minister did direct. So the youth schools, a number of youth schools have those have registered those candidates, a number of them. But of course, it's kind of a toll because the teachers are actually now rushing with the new curriculum. So the time that they allocate to the old curriculum may not be as much. So they need to do a lot of private reading. And at that point, I also want to inform them that we have what we call the past paper booklets at UNEB. They can make use of them and read them. Please come and get them, the past papers, the question banks. Please come and get them so you can be able to acquaint yourself with the various questions that have been set. Go through them. Get somebody to take you through those. Maybe somebody who does, depending on what you are doing. So at that level, it's going to be more of private reading. But you have to find a way. Get somebody who can be able to support you to do the studying. Get support. Get as much support as you need. But whatever it is, make sure that you do it well.
Wow. So my mind is so curious about what is going to be like in A-level. When these ones now that are the pioneers transition are heading to the A-level side. How is the curriculum there? It is also changing.
That is something that our principals are yet to communicate.
Okay.
What I know is that what I've heard is that there is likely to be what they call. First of all, according to the minister, when she was I think doing at one of those public meetings, I think when she was releasing the results, I think she said that they didn't want, as a country, it's like putting all your eggs in one basket. And you're like, we are going omnibus, and you're like, this is quite risk, supposing it does not work out. So I think as leaders, as management at that level, they wanted to go piecemeal and see, let's first try and see how will it work at UCE. Then we can go and transit to at USCE. But I think there's going to be kind of like maybe some transition, some abridged version or something of a new curriculum at that level. It is National Curriculum Development Center which has developed the curriculum. And as of now, we have not yet been given any instructions or any guidance how it's going to work out. But I know that as the Ministry of Education actually has some plans for the children. So I don't think there's need to worry.
That's quite interesting. And now let's talk about, let's go back to registration, how the process was. Only on a learner level, what are some of the challenges that were spotted out at the individual levels, maybe for the learners? What challenges were identified during the registration process?
Okay, one of the things that we identify, it's usually at UCE level, where the candidates realize that there's a mistake at their PLE result slip. When results are released, people are just looking out. They get a 4, an 8, a 10, a 12, 20 or something. No one ever looks at the details of, what the spelling of my name, the date of birth, and all that. And now later on, now the PLE results slip is our main benchmark, is our main source of data for UC for other forms of registration. So when you're registering a senior 4 candidates, we ask you to submit your PLE results slip. So once there's a mistake at that level, you are going to carry it on. However, we always encourage them, and I want to thank all the head teachers at UCE who have been keen to look out for all those anomalies where they're able to recognize them. Because once you recognize that, then you can come and inform us and we're able to change that anomaly. Maybe if it's the date of birth, if it's the date of birth, if it's the spelling of names, the order of names, we are able to change it at that time. So that you can going forward, you can be able to have your data corrected. But if you fail to change it at that level, then I'm afraid then you have to carry it on later on, which is quite unfortunate. So, and that is why we always encourage people to give us their birth certificates and when they're registering for PLE, that to help us ensure that the names are aligned, they're the same. What you have on your birth certificate, and what you're going to have on the UCE, on the PLE certificate, PLE result slip, and on all the other academic documents. But we've had cases where they had mistakes at that level, and we're able to change them, fortunately. I'm hoping that and this is now where we are calling upon the parents, make sure, in case you did not give, please, I hope you all have, I know they are now at school, but I'm hoping never giving everything, because you ask somebody, like, it is at school and you don't even have a photocopy. Please always have a backup. a reference document for yourself. You are the parent, have your file for your children. Always refer to that document. I want to request you to please go back and look at that document again.
Oh, yes.
Confirm the spelling of names, confirm the date of birth, confirm the gender that was put on that result slip for PLE. In case there is a mistake and your child has registered for senior 4, please go to school and ask them to come, and because just know whatever is on the PLE result slip is what is going to appear on the UCE and USCE result slip. So if there's a mistake, it's going to be carried forward. Yet you still have an opportunity to make that change. That's why we're asking you, please make sure, even before the registers are hanged. But when the registers are hanged, please go to the school and go to the notes board, even if it means standing there. When people are looking for schools, when trying to see if your child has been hanged for S1, you all go and hang there and read, and you want to see my daughter's name there. So even this time, be as if you're looking for a child, is a place for your child. Please make sure you go and read the details. And we also want to appeal to the schools. Please, this is a requirement in the UNEB Act 2021. You are required to hang those registers. Please make sure, because some schools do not hang those registers. And now we are working hand in hand with education standards. They are going to be coming and monitoring. If by any bad luck they find when you have not hung those registers, it will not go down with you, so go well with you. So, but we don't want to get to that level. So kindly, make sure you hang those registers. When UNEB does the cleaning and we send back the albums to you, please do print them out and hang them for the learners to be able to confirm their data, which are the registration data.
Wow. You mentioned so much of parents. What is the responsibility or the role of parents in the whole of this process of registration?
Thank you so much. The role of parents, first of all, initially, research has established that when parents are more involved in the teaching and learning of their children, the learners perform better. They feel more accountable, but also they feel more supported, the moral support, the spiritual support. And I always tell people, always let your learners know that you pray for them. There's a boy that he blessed me so much. He's a son to my pastor, and he said that he knows his mother wakes up at between 2 and 3 to pray. So for him, when people would be in prep, would be like, me, I wake up at 2. When my mother is praying, and I'm reading, and he's like, things would get into my head. So he reads. This was now university, not secondary, where they have restrictions. But because he knows the mother supports him, he knows between 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock a.m., my mother is praying. And he deliberately reads during that time. And he says he actually gets there. So it is important for us to know, for our children to know we give them that kind of support. So let's give them the moral support, give them the spiritual support. In case they've not performed well, tell them, yes, you can be able to make it. Yes, how can we go and talk to the teacher along with them? At times, some of these teachers want that personal touch, but then as maybe they fear going there. So when you go for video, when you go for the class days, get to know which subjects are they performing well. Give the teachers, give them a thank you. Let them know that you acknowledge the work that they are doing. And then where they are not performing well, go and talk to them. I know there are times on those class days it may be like very busy, but find a day. Go and talk to the teacher and tell them, I want to know why isn't Jennifer performing? Why is the problem? They tell Jennifer is faithful. I have one where they told me she's in the wrong team and they keep themselves in a corner. So like, okay, fine. Now I'm asking you, let us help this child. How are we going to do this? Please help me. So get involved. Let them also know that you are involved. But now, like I've said, now in terms of registration, you also need to know that, have they registered? If they are registered, what subjects are they doing? What are the coursework scores submitted for, that is for UCE? But even for PLE, get to know, find out about the correctness of the data that has been submitted. How are they performing? Talk to their teachers about it. How do they feel? Are they ready for the mocks? Are they ready to do this? Give them that kind of moral support. Let them know that you actually do support them. And assure them that it is not the end of the world. You are supporting them. You know that the Lord is going to help them. They have the wisdom of God. You have the mind of Jesus Christ. Support them in as much as possible. But let it not be like life and death. If you do not get a 4, I'll kill you. This is hard-earned money. That kind of thing. Well, the kids you hear, eventually they get... they commit. Last year we had unfortunate incidents where children actually committed suicide just because they thought it was life and death. Let them know in life you don't necessarily. It is very good to get a 4, a 5, and perform very well. But even if you do not get that, you can still be very productive. Many of us never got 4s, but yet we are giving back to our nation. We are able to perform wherever we are. And that is where the new curriculum is good. It recognizes that somebody may not be able to remember this entire content, but they have other competencies which they can do. They are able to prepare a room and set it up very well. They can organize an event and it comes out so well. They can organize a meeting and they take the minutes and those other skills which employers actually are going to look out for. So let's support them. Let's encourage them. Let's pray with them, give them the moral support, pay the school fees in time. If you can, in case you're not able to pay the school fees in time, because schools have a tendency of throwing out candidates when it's time to do examinations and they're like, you have not paid the school fees. And the kids are on tension. That is one of the things that really disturbs those children. So in case you're not able to pay the school fees, go to the school and talk to them. Have an MOU and tell them, you know what, I have a challenge, but I'm expecting money during this time. I'm earning this kind of thing. Maybe I have a loan or something like that, or I'm doing this business. I hope that by September I would have cleared. If possible, handle it as adults. Let these kids not know that actually they have school fees balance, because it destabilizes them, it disorganizes them. So if you can avoid your child being sent back home because of school fees balances, please do that. Talk to the school. They are also human. And to the teachers and head teachers, please, let's also, I know you also need that money badly. But if I've been doing well, performing well all the other years, and now I have a challenge, and my child is in a candidate class, can we work together to support these children? If you send back a candidate right now because of school fees balances, they get embarrassed. They are you can remember they are young people. Sure. Their self-esteem is brought down. They're not able to read. They're not able to that we aren't supporting them in every way possible. So let's do whatever is possible as adults to support our learners to perform well. All right.
And now, as we conclude, I have this bold question: have you completed registration?
Yes, sir, we have. Look, we did complete registration on the 31st of July. Okay. We did start in March. We had normal registration ending on 31st of May. And then we had a grace period of 1 week. And then we had what we call late registration, where we pay surcharge of 50% for UCE and USCE. Surcharge was 50%. For POE, which was 100%. Okay. It was ending on 30th of June. And then the latest phase of registration was in the month of July, which closed on the 31st of July. So we have, yes, we have closed registration for all the levels of the examinations. And examinations, we expect to begin examinations in October. But the critical thing now, next steps, we are going to be cleaning up the data, and we shall send back the albums or the registers to the schools. The schools should be able to hang them for parents to be able to access and confirm that their child has been registered. In the event that they are not registered, please come to your name. That's the other thing. Okay. Please, 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 please do not delay. Just come with all the proof and say, you know, I did register. As we are now the parent. The other thing also, always make sure you keep those receipts. Even if they're SMS messages, take a screenshot and keep it somewhere. That in the event this head teacher says you never paid them for registration of your child, please bring and show us and confirm, I did register on the 30th of June. I did register on 29th of May. And then there we can be able to handle those minor cases. We don't want to reach that day when exams are beginning and an entire center, an entire school is coming up and they're saying, we are not registered. And you are coming to your name and you're like, oh my God, what can we do at this point in time? We have processes. Right now, we are going to begin with the stationery, putting together stationery, the packaging, then printing of all the materials that we need, according to data we have acquired. So we don't just insert a paper or whatever that somebody thinks. It is a national examination, not just a school examination. So according to our procedures, yes, we have closed. If it is a very special case, a very unique case, then you need to come and see the executive director. With his discretion, he can allow to register you. Oh, wow, very interesting. Here with me is Mrs. Jennifer Kalule Musumba. Mr. Kalule is my father, Mr. Musumba is my husband.
Okay. Okay, so please, in just a minute, give us your last remarks as we end up this discussion.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much to our viewers, but also to the Family TV. Thank you for the opportunity you always give us. And to the parents out there, I want to request you to please be supportive of our learners in every way possible. Pray with them, support them morally, don't discourage them, encourage them, even if they failed. make them realistic. They are able to do it, speak to teachers, but confirm that they are registered once we display the registers. As UNEB Private, we have a forum where we pray for candidates. In case you are interested, you can join us, you can share the link, and you can give us the names of your candidates, and we can pray with them so that they know that somebody out there is calling upon the Lord on their behalf. Otherwise, thank you so much, and wish you all a blessed week.
Oh wow, thank you so much. You have it there from UNEB directly. It's not that it is a hearsay. So in case you are in that category of having a child or your relative in any of the candidate classes, I think this show has been very helpful to you, and we really appreciate that you joined us today, this morning. I also want to wish you a very blessed week, and just like I always say, start off your week with a positive mind. My name is Kalule Musumba, and remember, we are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott in Entebbe. Have yourselves a lovely day.
Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Family TV, enriching life.